Hey friends, welcome back. It's been a little while. We've been busy for the last couple of weeks. I had a pretty decent work week until yesterday afternoon. I was getting ready to leave work just about half an hour prior to shift end, and I come to hear that one of our coworkers went missing. Well, the problem with our campus is it's huge. It's 22 acres, 18 buildings. I'm sorry, 18 buildings, 22 acres. We've got 2 million square feet of hospital and campus to survey and keep track of. So we're thinking, crap, we're gonna have a long night trying to find our friend because sometimes people have accidents and they may not be able to reach out for help if they're in a area where there's not a lot of people around, and we have those around the hospital and the utility areas and the sub basements and the tunnels and stuff. But as it turned out, our coworker, we think he had a mental breakdown. Now, this gentleman is in his mid 30s. He has two boys and a wife. His boys are, I want to say, somewhere around the preteen years. And he apparently just walked away from his shop, his car, everything else. He just walked away. Literally went down the street. Somebody saw him. They tried going after him, and he disappeared. And that was yesterday at noon. And here we are after 6 p.m. and the day after. And so our fear is that this may end bad. But I talk to you about these things because if you see somebody acting out of character, if you see somebody acting strangely, talk to them. It's easy enough. Our co-worker, apparently he was showing definitive signs of something was awry, something was not right, and that pains all of us because we thought he had a good handle on things, good handle on life. He's a accomplished welder. I mean, accomplished welder. He worked for a Department of Defense as a civilian contractor on Navy boats. He's an underwater welder. He's skilled. He's got a good trade behind him and a family. But now we're having to contend with the fact that his wife has no clue where he's at, and she's without any means to provide for her boys because he was the sole breadwinner. Not saying women can't do it, but she was staying at home raising the kids, and he was the one that went out and made the money. Could have been the other way around, but that's the way their family is. So my heart's just kind of on hold right now because I know the guy. He's a good man. He's a concerned person with the way of our world now, and I just hope he comes back and he gets the help he needs because it's a shame if the world can get over on you and stress can bury you. And we assume it's stress because he was apparently showing signs of stress at home. His brother-in-law also works with us, and so he was talking to us about what he had been noticing. So, my friend, I hope you hear. I hope you hear this. I hope you're finding whatever you need to find, and you'll make your way back to us. So, until we found out more information, we'll hold our breath. But in other news, we are getting ready for some more snow down here at the sea level of Puget Sound. And my girls are supposed to have 2 days of school next week prior to winter break starting. Winter break starts Wednesday. Monday and Tuesday are school days for them. It may turn out to be no school because we're supposed to get a bit of snow. So we'll see what happens. That being said, there was a pretty nasty blizzard that went across western U.S. from like eastern Washington all the way into Minnesota. And ironically, my 10-year-old and I are supposed to be getting on the road and driving back to Minneapolis, St. Paul from Seattle Friday next week. And right now, I-90, for the most part, across North Dakota is closed, at least until tomorrow, or when they get the roads cleared and plowed. The freeways are shut down, and that's normal for North Dakota. There's not much in the way of trees and forests to keep the snow blowing across the road and shut it down. So we'll watch the weather and see what happens. And if we can't make it back there next week, then we'll go winter camping. I'm gonna go to Mount Baker this year. I came to find out in the current top 10 lists of deepest snowfalls ever recorded, Mount Baker and the Okanagan, forest area up here in northern central Washington is number 10 for deepest snowfalls ever recorded. So I'm going to go up there and see how much snow we got, because I've heard awesome things about Mount Baker ski area. Getting there is tedious, but if you get there, it's really good skiing and winter sports. So we'll make our way up there this year. If we can make it back to Minnesota to see my side of the family, then we'll go up to winter camp after we get back in January. If we don't get back to Minnesota, then we'll go up there for winter break while the girls are out of school and I'm on vacation. So, nice thing about being a federal civilian, in the Army, you could not take, in the military, you could not take leave concurrent with a pass. Meaning if you had just a long weekend, a 4-day weekend or whatever it is, you couldn't take leave in conjunction because you had to go in and sign on leave and, be physically on leave, because you're allowed to go, you can go further away from base. On pass, you have to stay close to base in case they recall everybody. But on leave, so that, negated being able to take a long weekend, pair it with your leave, and then take advantage of that situation. As a federal civilian, I can do that. So I'm going to take 3 days. Well, they count in hours. I'm going to take 30 hours of leave because I work 10-hour shifts Monday through Thursday. I'm going to take 3 days of leave and pair it with 2 long weekends on either end. So I'm going to take 11 days off. 11 days, complete off, and only have to use 30 hours of my saved vacation time. That's a good deal. And I'm pleased with that. If I don't make it back to work because I die in some horrendous avalanche thing, well, my girls are going to be with me, so I hope that doesn't happen. Anyhow, I can't get my friend out of my head right now. I'm really conscious about that. It's killing me. We went around looking for him last night, walked around the area, covered as much ground as the handful of us that were there could. Of course, no sign. Unfortunately, because he left the VA campus property, the VA police couldn't do anything except look through their video surveillance and say, yeah, he never came back. Well, yeah, we knew that. But then Seattle Police Department informed everybody that you can't file a missing person report till 72 hours after they go missing. I'm like, in this, nobody could, in 72 hours in this right now is pretty cold outside. And it's like, I don't think anybody could live 72 hours without, accoutrements and gear to, sustain themselves. We assume he's outside. We assume that he doesn't have any jackets because all of his gear he left in his shop on his car. He didn't take a thing. He just walked. In the middle of the day, walked off. So I don't see how he would make it 72 hours. But fortunately, a little bit of saving grace here, because the VA police had called the Seattle police. Seattle police took the missing persons report at less than 24 hours, and put out information to find this gentleman. So hopefully he just ended up at like a homeless camp. Just wandered around aimlessly and not really aware where he's at or what's going on. We think he had some sort of mental episode. And so hopefully he's at a homeless camp, and that'll be the first place that I'd look. Because there's so many of them. I mean, so many of them. So, and as nasty as some of those homeless camps are, I will give them credit for one thing. They know how to sustain themselves. I don't know how. They stay warm, they get food, and, amongst other things, they do manage to sustain themselves and survive. So, at least there he could have a chance. Downside is he might have ran into a gang, because we do have them down here. Wow. We got gangs. You can throw a dart at a board, pick which one you're going to join. That's about it. But enough about that. I got to focus on me and mine. So, we're doing all right. We went out and picked up another mess of wood. And I spent today throwing wood onto our splitter. We have a hydraulic splitter, and so I'm going to be sore tomorrow. But yeah, other than that, hopefully my friend comes back, and hopefully I can make it back to Minnesota next week. We're going to leave Friday, drive for 2 days. If the roads are decent, it should be a 2-day drive. That's what it usually is. And we'll stop in Billings, Montana for a night, and be home in time for the holidays, and then we'll stay for about 5 days and get back here just in time for New Year's Eve, and celebrate that here with the rest of the family, because my wife can't go because of our one daughter that's handicapped. She can't really travel long distances, or we can't throw her, we can't take her on a plane or a train or or road trip for that long of a true journey. So my wife will stay here with her. But yeah, so we'll come back for New Year's Eve, and when I can recover from driving for so much. It's 1,700 miles, 1,800 miles, depending on how many exits I take to get to restaurants and hotels. But then we're gonna take a couple of trips up to Minnesota. There, up to Duluth and Two Harbors up there on the North Shore of Superior. Beautiful area up there during the winter time. So, and there's a couple of cool things to see up there. Yes, Minnesota has some cool things for me, because I like nature. So, anyhow, y'all have fun. Stay warm. Take care, and we'll talk to you soon.